been a while. It has been a while. Curious if anybody will show up. Get signed into GitHub. Oh, hey, Shang, how's it going? Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. How are you doing this evening? MobX, is that some kind of signal library? Are you joking? Naveen on YouTube. Please use Bear React Native instead of Expo CLI. Yeah, what's going on, Shang? By the way, if you hear some feedback through my microphone with the music, I was lazy. I didn't put on my headphones. Tell me if it's an issue. MobX. I'll share my screen in just a sec. Don't worry. Long ignored, unfortunately. Good cue to get off the internet and wrap up some work. Yeah, audio sounds good. Yeah, have a good one, Shang. Swing by if you have some time later. Thank you, Parasocial Fix. Hey, I appreciate you coming and hanging out, by the way. Oh, is that Chris who just followed? Is it Chris? I think it's Chris. I don't remember if that's your username. But hey, I appreciate the follow. Chris. Okay, yeah. I thought so. I thought I recognized that. Okay, so things are getting pretty old with MobX State Tree. Like, it's been a while since I've touched it. And I started feeling bad about that. Meant off Twitter, came for your post, will be here. Sweet. Yeah. I'm going to be moving kind of slow. Just hanging out, you know. But I am going to pay some attention to MobX State Tree. Okay. MobX State Tree, of course, for those of you who don't know, I am the primary maintainer. Full-featured reactive state management without the boilerplate. So it's based on MobX, but it is its own thing. It's like a framework on top of MobX. Please use Bear React Native instead of Expo CLI. So Naveen, I appreciate you hanging out. I may use React Native at some point tonight. That is in the title, because that is what I do for the most part. But I like how security has 404 here. Security not found. Maybe we should look at that. But I'm going to do some triage first. So this PR adds a test that demonstrates the issue. If we find a fix, we'll add it to this PR. And the test failing is it's Expected. I forgot Twitch exists. Oh, are you on? You're not on Twitter, are you? No, you're on Twitch. I've used MobX State Tree recently, and I still want to learn from you. What do you want to learn? Was there anything in particular? On Twitter mostly. Yeah, cool. Chris, we've been connected for probably what, like 6-8 years, something like that. Like, I feel like we've interacted on Twitter for a very long time. Old school, right? Haven't used Twitch in probably 3 years. I'm on YouTube also. YouTube.infinite.red. If that's more your jam. I think Twitch is a little better for the interaction, in my opinion. The video on YouTube is a little better. And I think that people in some parts of the world, they tend to like YouTube better just because of that. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. Ooh, I like this one. Exciting entrance. Okay, so I am in talks with the Wizard of TypeScript, Matt Pocock, to maybe hire him to make some changes to the types. Modernize some of the types here on MobX State Tree. I'd pay him to do that. Okay, so let's take a few things here. Return promise. Let's see here, 2019. Apply snapshot type checking. Well, I have not responded to Adam in 1.5 years. This is what happens with MobX State Tree, unfortunately. It's not the top thing on my list, so I focus on like a lot of the Infinite Red stuff, but this is the downside. So I think I should push this one forward. By the way, he says original plan was to deprecate snapshot processors on models and only rely on types.snapshot processor. That was the original plan, and we decided not to deprecate them. So this might be worth fixing. So there's a test here. It should call preprocess snapshot with the correct argument. While I'm here, I'm going to pull down from master, which I don't think anything's changed. I'm going to yarn, just get things up to date, and I'm going to run yarn test in the background. Open source always tends to go into overtime for me. Yeah. One of the problems is I'm too busy right now. That's actually a real problem. Like, I definitely don't want it to be a constant thing where I never have time to do stuff like this. I don't even have time to stream anymore. Like, it's 6 o'clock p.m. and I'm streaming. Speaking of which, I'm going to post this in the Infinite Red community. And let's see here, community. I posted that. Okay, so expect on snapshot last called with this value. It's a pre-processed snapshot that happens when you apply a snapshot. I think if we did this, this would have to be a full version. I'm not using Hyperchris. I am using Warp, which I prefer Warp. I really like Warp. Warp is really cool. I'm a big fan. Okay, so type check internal moves above the preprocess. And then wait a minute here. I don't know if I understand this. Type check internal should be called with an original snapshot. It seems to fix this. Pre-process the snapshot twice. Maybe this isn't. This is just a bug fix, isn't it? I feel like I should do this one. I feel like I should do this one. This one seems like it should I thought I had a label here that actually was like, hey, this is good to go. Oh yeah, next release. That's the one. Next release. I went ahead and undeprecated pre-process snapshot pre and post. Isn't it pre-post? In yeah, that one. So this one needs to be shipped. What's the conflict here? So type check internal should happen on the original snapshot, not on the pre-processed snapshot. So this is a situation where it seems to be, well, let me look at this. Get snapshot returns. So there's this code sandbox. The real ID needs to be a number. So we got 1, 2, 3, real ID was undefined bar. And then set foo. Now apply the backup. Some hash. Where's some hash coming from? I don't understand where that's coming from. Oh, right here. Okay, preprocess, it changes the ID, which should be a string. And that's because the snapshot it's getting apply snapshot. Oh, I see what the difference is here. Okay. I think this is right, by the way. So apply snapshot preprocessor. I don't totally understand how this test fixes this. This is the thing that is a little bit strange to me. Because we have this snapshot comes in, we return with the value +1, makes sense. So when we create it with value, it should already be a value of 1, because we're pre-processing whatever value we're sending in and changing it to 1. The on snapshot should have been called with 1, but I believe it comes in with 2. It's probably 2. Why is this blocked? I mean, that actually worked. What should call preprocess? So this is the model test, core model test. Okay, this passed. Why would this have passed if this... Oh, I see. No, never mind. It passes with this change. Duh. Okay. I think this is probably okay to merge. Don't know for sure, though. Because shouldn't it keep the type check internal processing the pre-process snapshot? The preprocessor should turn it into... Yeah, I don't get the logic here. It feels wrong to me. Says it preprocesses twice, but... Okay, we're going to have to do this the hard way, aren't we? We're going to have to do this the hard way. I probably need to actually just use MobX State Tree directly and see what happens here. Yeah, so real ID sum hash is not assignable to type number. And the real ID right here I want to sign in. So attempt to roll back. The real ID is not assignable to type. But I don't understand where some hash is getting set to the real ID. Oh, because it's using the ID directly. So it is converting the number to the real ID. So the number. Okay, I'm finally figuring this out. I'm a little slow, but tonight, but okay. So when this comes in, the snapshot has an ID of 123, and then it sets this to a hash. And then when you get a snapshot out, unset this for output, reset this to number. Then when you put it back in, it needs to do this again. So when you apply a snapshot, it needs to grab this by itself before it gets pushed in. No. It needs to happen after. I don't understand this. I don't understand this because, like, this is not making sense. Why should this be type checking? Shouldn't this be type checking the pre-process snapshot? It feels like it actually should be checking the pre-process snapshot. Okay, I'm going to have to just ask for help. Type check the original snapshot, or the what is it? Not the original, but the then calls type check internal, which leads to his valid snapshot, calling apply snapshot preprocessor on the already processed snapshot. Okay, if I could read. Is valid snapshot is being called. I see. I just don't know if this is the right answer though. The problem here is, so the problem here is that like, so apply snapshot. We grab, actually I'm gonna make sure I'm on master here. Okay. So apply snapshot. So type check internal. That comes from internal. Is, so it does type check. Okay. It validates it. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Still doesn't make sense to me. We're just running type check on the type. So why would that so process the initial snapshot, get snapshots from everything, apply the snapshot post processor to that. Okay. So preprocessed snapshot is apply snapshot preprocessor. Okay. If there's a processor, call it. Okay. Type check internal. And then is valid snapshot is already called somewhere. Where else is it called? Oh. This is it right here. Okay, remember how I showed the value.validate? So here's the problem. We're basically running this again. So they are correct. This does get run when we're validating. And verifying that it's a valid snapshot once we've validated that. The snapshot, though, so I feel like the is valid snapshot okay. Maybe we don't need to type check. So is valid snapshot runs apply snapshot preprocessor. So we can call it on the raw one. This doesn't fix it though. This would run it twice. This would run it twice. So this is slow. In other words, I don't think we should be applying the snapshot preprocessor to this, but us not doing that is a problem. I don't think this is the right way to fix it. So, I'm going to try to think through how this works. Okay, so essentially what we have going on here, we have a dirty snapshot, let's say, okay? And this dirty snapshot is not in any way valid. Not valid. When we run is valid snapshot, dirty snapshot, what happens is it first pre-processes it, and then it validates it. And then when you apply a snapshot, it first is valid snapshot because of the type check. So type check internal runs is valid snapshot, which runs pre-process snapshot. Okay. So, and then it runs pre-process snapshot again. Then applies it. So it's like we need some way to, I mean, the way that they have it working here, or the fix would work. It would still run pre-process snapshot twice. So maybe there's a way to is valid snapshot. What is the iValidation context? I actually don't know what that is. What? Here it is. iValidation context entry, and there's like multiple of those. So it's a path and a type. I see. So there are paths for validations, and then there's types for validations. Has anybody used Zod? I'm curious. Curious how big it is. Like someday it might actually make sense to just convert MobX State Tree to using Zod under the hood. You haven't heard of Zod? TypeScript first schema validation with static type inference. It's like MobX State Tree's static and runtime type checks. Anyway, I'm not going to do it right now. Yeah, you don't use mesh TypeScript? Yeah. Do you do just regular JavaScript, or are you writing some other language? So maybe there's a way to take that snapshot. I guess I need to think this through. So I could just do this. It will still apply the process twice, or the pre-process the snapshot twice. Maybe it's okay. Seems a little bit slow. Of course, that only happens on type checking, which does not. It does not happen. Maybe because it doesn't happen in prod, it's okay, because we bypass runtime type checks. Okay. I think Vanilla.js, yeah. I think this is okay. I do think this is okay. I think what we can do is merge this. Let me verify that. No, I think I'll do this. I think I'll merge it. Fix Mish. Okay, 0. And I'm going to give Adam Kowalski. I'm going to give him some. It's the Yandex team. Oh, Russia. Okay. I'm going to merge this. So I think we're good on that. I'm just going to say for this one, for a change log, pre-post process snapshot running. It's not that, it's more like applied twice to snapshots. I just realized something. The validation. Oh yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's not the most ideal. This will still result in the pre-post process snapshot running twice. However, it will not double apply the snapshot I should say it's just pre-process. We will not double apply the snapshot before validation. It will only double, or it'll only run twice in development mode, or if runtime type checking is turned on in prod, which is rare. So I think this is an acceptable fix and will ship in the next release of MobX State Tree. If someone wants to figure out a way to only run it once, even in dev, feel free. Not worth, not a high priority right now. Okay. Okay, I think we're good there. So that one's good. Let's jump back to pull requests. Making progress. Oh, hey. Is this the same thing? No, it's not. Before running apply snap. Run preprocessors of types snapshot processor before running. Okay, so apply snapshot, preprocess snapshot, and then we will apply it. Why does this seem like a hack? Probably is a hack. Okay, so fix node. The node has to use these methods rather than the original type ones. The MobX State Tree is full of this type of coding. Don't really get it. I didn't write most of this. Old get snapshot, node.get snapshot, and then set it to post process snapshot, old get snapshot. Fix node. What is fixed node and why does it exist? Like when is this? What? I don't understand fixed node. Reconcile. I'm worried about this. But the interesting thing here, we are already applying get snapshot or doing get snapshot. and doing this. So this would fit the pattern that we had before. I don't like this pattern. I don't like this way of coding at all. It feels really ugly. It looks like the test works. Yeah, I think we do this. I think we do this. I think we're in good shape here. Resolves 1317. Let me verify that. So I'll merge this one. Oh. Okay, well, I'll fix that in post. Okay, and then let's make sure that these properly have the right issues to close. So this one will be here. Closes that. This one should be closed. Closes that. Okay, cool. No response from this guy. So this is really old. And that means that there's just so many things that are wrong or different. Like so much of this is it's just different. Introduces has env. I could probably bring this in myself. So the environment, it tries to find the node. Is there an environment from the root? Get env target store has env, otherwise get the root after create. Undo manager. I don't know how many people do the undo manager thing here. So what I'm going to do here is there's like hardly anybody interested in this. It's very old. And this is a breaking change, apparently. But it seems doable. It seems like we can throw away some of these some of these changes here. And just apply like this change. So there's has env. Okay. I need someone to push this one forward. So looking for a volunteer to push this one forward. What needs to happen? Pull out relevant changes in this PR and open a new one off of the latest master. Test everything. Make sure it still works. Let me know, probably on Twitter, that it's ready to merge. Hold on a sec. All right. So all right, so I'm just gonna put that one. Backmel Z, hey, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. So I'm gonna sort by least recently updated. Okay. So this Jesse apply action async. Yeah, I think apply action async makes sense. I'm gonna see if this Jesse Savory just ask Jesse again on this one. So this one needs okay. All right. Fix nested flows with middleware. Fix the uncaught errors mentioned in the linked issue. Okay, I need to figure out what's going on here. So, create action tracking middleware breaks with nested flows. Sandbox link. Oh, does it need a new version of React here? 16.8. Let's go 16.14. Okay, cannot apply action to complex prototype. Create the field is already decorated with action. Redecorating field is not allowed. Use override decorator for methods overridden by subclass. What? To-do store. Let's go look at to-do store. Action tracking middleware. Consider migrating to create action tracking middleware 2. Michelle. Why do you do this? I don't know who made that, but why would you do that? Convenience utility to create action-based middleware that supports async processes more easily. All hooks are called from both synchronous and asynchronous actions that either on success or on failed is called. Create middleware tracks the process of an action. So it passes the filter. On resume can return any value. Interesting. Okay, so on start and resume. Okay, so we have this middleware. We applying the middleware where? So after create, add a disposer, and then add the middleware to it. Okay, so should be no issues with using middleware from create action tracking middleware with nested flows. Flow A, flow B, then return flow A and flow B, which yields flow A. This just feels like something you wouldn't want to do. Okay. Cannot read property context of undefined. I believe this issue is from the fact. Hey, Hey, what's up, Cameron? What app am I trying to build? I'm just working on MobX State Tree in general. This is why Redux is better. The only reason Redux is better is because someone else is the maintainer. Not me. I'm serious. I have 4 kids, a business, lots of other open source. I do lots of things. Hey, what's up, Frank? And right now it's just me on MobX State Tree, so that's why it's kind of like sitting here. Hey, what's up, Miguel? The action middleware will remove the root ID on delete, which will remove the action context that the outside flow still depends on. Instead, the action middleware should delete the call.parent ID. Okay. So, delete the parent ID, not the root ID. It lacks on-suspended, on-resume callbacks, which are convenient for tracking async actions. What's your middleware do? Yeah, this is another question here. By the way, where do these people work? Adobe, it looks like. Yeah, this person's also at Adobe. Ben. X space X, that's kind of cool. Running actions, delete, call, root ID. So, transaction tracking implementation allows us to build transactions that record model property changes over a series of actions, building up a collection of snapshots and model changes, which then can all be committed at once to a backend. So it makes use of on-resume to swap out the transactions that are being written to as async actions are paused and resume. We tested out the suggested fix, which is to change the tracking middleware v1 to only delete the root ID if the root ID and the parent ID of the call are the same. Seems to work, but if middleware v1 is going to be completely deprecated, then I think middleware v2 needs to support a resume hook, similar to the existing middleware for our use case. Sounds doable since it's pretty close to what Atomic does. The trick is in the first part of the on start. Let's make sure it won't record patches outside the flow or sync actions. In the first part of the on start part, make sure it won't record patches outside of the flow. Just make sure it won't record outside the flow. Okay. Taking a look at this, and I don't think it works for us. And we don't use the iPatch recorder to track our data. We actually set up reactions on specific properties in our data models. Our transaction middleware is only responsible for ensuring the correct transaction is set on the state tree nodes environment. It's monitoring for start resume. We don't want to capture the patches. We want to define getters and setters, which are reactions that extract from apply data to our model. More immune to changes in model structure. Similar filter approach. I think it makes sense for optional hooks to be exposed on the second create action middleware 2 for on resume on pause. The plan is to deprecate the original create action middleware API. Knowing when to handle things feels like the responsibility of the create middleware API rather than requiring additional filtering inside of whatever is being turned on. Now you see why the second one was created. Old one was never unit tested, had some kind of weird patterns I didn't dare fix. In order to not break backwards compatibility, therefore the second one was born. Okay, so it wasn't Michel, it was Javier. Honestly, I'd never used MobX, but I thought it was supposed to be easier than Redux or Context API. Well, this isn't MobX. Well, it's based on MobX. It's MobX State Tree, though. See? MobX State Tree. It's very powerful. Has all kinds of cool tools that you can play with. And thus, more surface area for bugs. I mean, Redux is kind of similar. It just happens to have a pretty big, robust core team. Iterating on the new API is feeling more appealing now. I'll take a stab at that. That's May 21st, my mom's birthday. 2019. So, did he ever do that? PR does fix the uncaught errors mentioned in the ish, does not. Larger refactor. Outer flow hooks aren't being called again. The inner flow resumes. Iterating over the call chain and digging up running actions for parents, calling it on to resume in the right order. More complicated cases because, to my understanding, the weak map would only contain running actions in the same middleware. Global map of calls to an array of hooks. That'd be shit. Oh my goodness. Hey, Futsal. Shuffle 777. Sync is testing the synchronous middleware flow.
Yo, what's going on?
This feels like I'm going too far. Like there's too much going on here. There are deeper issues to address. PR does fix the uncaught, but is not under. Feels like a more complex use case than I'm comfortable supporting in MobX State Tree, given our focus on stability, more complex refactor for the existing API. In fact, I'm not sure that I feel like this should, or we're already further afield. I don't know if I really want to say all that, because like maybe people want to use MobX State Tree this way. It just feels like really complex. Way more complex than it should be. Greater issues, as it's still a fairly unusual edge case to run into any of these. Yeah, I'm gonna close it. I do need to remember to come back to this though. So I'm gonna make a note. Yeah. So, whatever. All right, let's go back to the pull requests. This is kind of my approach, you know, like if I don't need it, I'm happy to review a pull request, but I'm not going to try to fix this bug. It feels like you're doing too much with MobX State Tree already. Wait, what is this? Trans promise from the result of apply action. Oh yeah, this is the one I just responded to. So let's go sort by least recently updated. Okay. Maybe null. Adds a failing test. This is Will Raxworthy. Cool dude. Applying a snapshot to a maybe union and array, or array and union works. So maybe null, maybe null, maybe null. Field operator value. Single filter. and then multiple filter. We're unioning those two. Okay, interesting. Again, these types of things, like, they're clever and stuff, but I just have this feeling like these are going too far, you know, like you probably shouldn't be using MobX State Tree in this way. It feels like it's kind of, I don't know. Just feels like you're expecting too much out of it. Filter, filters, filters. Oh, that's lovely. And I use it in another model with the types.union. Yeah. And types.late, circular dependency. I create a store with a snapshot and expect store will contain all the data. Shows some fields with null. Weird. Field operator and this feels like an edge case. Yeah, all right. Just sort of, it's fine, you know? It's a bug, I guess. Let's go back. Lazy type for a lazy importing of models. Um, hmm. I don't really know on this one. I might send it to Michelle. Okay, let's look at the documentation here. Lazy. Defines a type that is loaded at a later date. This can be done as a promise and can be useful in trying to code split your stores. Oh, man. Really? lazy type of, so you'd have to like infer these types. Why would anybody use this? I know, code splitting. I'll be honest, if you're getting to the level where you need code splitting of this level, maybe you shouldn't use MobX State Tree. I mean, I get what's happening here, kind of. Feels like it's complicating MobX State Tree. Okay. Any way to have this be a MST plugin or extension, or let's see here. I was trying to think of like a way to sort of like, in interest of not complicating the MST code base any more than it already is, would there be a way to publish this as a separate model, or package that people could import and use? I'm actually going to go to the files here. I'm actually not a fan of this song. So there's this like lazy test, and then the core type includes lazy, and we're exporting it, and there's the lazy type itself. So I'm wondering if maybe we could, you know, it's not that bad though. It's not that bad. It really isn't that bad. That's a pretty self-contained thing. I'd probably be okay with merging this, to be honest. It's self-contained and seems well written. So, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I'm not going to release it in this version, so I'm going to so we'll hang on to this one. Well, maybe I release this as bug fix release, and then next minor or feature release, do this one. Closes 247, which is already closed. I mean, this is actually a pretty good idea. I'll type in multiple tree definitions, separate and store them. Lack of code splitting. Oh, this is Adam. It's primarily the reason I haven't looked at MST. Of course, don't expect you to tailor development to what I happen to want. This is an essential feature. Don't think many apps in practice will be shipping their entire state definition up front. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Okay, cool. Flag to determine if an action is flow-based action. Documentation. All right, I fixed the I could probably add documentation for this, but create flow spawner. I don't know. I mean, I'll just say just waiting on docs. People want a global store but don't want a global store. I assume you're talking about the lazy thing. I think it really has to do with bundle splitting, code splitting, because MobX State Tree has this giant store. Like you have essentially like a or store definition. So you do the store definition first, and it could be bringing in some pretty gigantic, like if you have a really big tree across like a ton of a ton of files and stuff like that, you could be like, well, here's part of the tree. Here's part of the tree, but we don't need to load this until that actually does load up, like until we actually load that JavaScript. And Michelle's response there to Adam was that, let me see if I can find it here. Custom references. Let's see here. Lack of code splitting akin to Redux's replace reducer is the primary reason I have it. So one question I have about this is like how the TypeScript works, but it looks like you have to apply the types yourself. You have to say the thing I will be loading eventually is this type of model. So you have to apply that. So it'll get the types. Replace reducer, replaces the current active reducer function with a new reducer function. Swaps it. Yeah. That's annoying. Okay, so yeah, lazy loading. What do you want to bet that Adam tweeted about this? February 15th, 2018. All right, I'm going to go spelunking. I'm going to go spelunking. Let's go find out. So, let me see here just a second. Adam Rakis. Okay. From Adam Rakis. Since 2018-02-14 until 2018-02-15. Or no, wait. What are you doing? You did it on the 15th. Okay, so 16. Okay, here we go. All right, let's take a look here. MobX and React Router using render props. Okay. He tweets a lot. Yeah, he tweets a lot. Let's see. I mean, I tweet a lot. Who tweets more, me or Adam? 76,000 tweets. $73,000 tweets. Wow. He started August 2009. I started April 2009. I started a little earlier. He tweets more than me. That's hilarious. Maybe I should add in here MobX or MobX State Tree. or doing like the photos one to see if he tweeted a screenshot of it. No, he never did. Wow. I don't think inject reducer is solved in Redux in terms of TypeScript. Yeah. Yeah, that seems like a hard problem. Anyway, that's hilarious that Adam and I have very similar numbers of tweets. I have a lot lower. I'm probably less interesting, but also less wrong all the time. Don't get me wrong, I'm wrong. I'm just not Adam Rackus wrong. Although I have found myself agreeing with him a lot lately. I don't know what that says about me. That's weird. Yeah. Okay, anyway. I mean, I like this influencing. Yeah, requires being wrong a lot. Yeah, it's true. I mean, you know, it's a well-written PR, and if it solves people's problems, then sure, you know. I think we probably just do it. This one is also a well-written one. We're just waiting for ducks. I need help. Okay, so let's go back here. Add option to resolve non-unique identifiers. This is on hold because MST reference pool is a better solution than I came up with. Which I would like to bring it in as like a first class solution, but I like this, so. Closing in favor of MST reference pool, which is, by the way, a little bit limited, but it does solve this in some ways. MST reference pool is pretty cool. Lets you use references to a pool of model instances in any store. It's like a hidden types array that you can point references to. It isn't like a hidden, it is a hidden types array. It's not even that hidden. It's just there, and it like lets you manage it with this add all to pool and add to pool and things like that. And then you can run a GC, garbage collector, like so. There's some limitations with this. By the way, there's a pull request? What is this? Silas, he works for me. Sure. Why is it? What? Too long with no output? Deprecated. Rerun this one, I guess. This one I might need to just merge. Nested models issue. Oh, I know about that one. It's one of my clients. Okay, so I'm just going to close this one. Updated October 10th, so doesn't make property. So typestop maybe does not make some data. It doesn't. So this is a TypeScript issue. and we need help. All right, so I'm gonna put this. Need TypeScript help. Cool. Fix abort flow cause error. Before this fix, when middleware calls abort, gen next R will not be called, and the variable ret must be undefined. So in function next, ret.done will raise access undefined. Asked for a regression test. Return run with action context. I mean, I don't actually know. It seems like maybe this is fine. Like I don't probably need a test here. So we can return this cancel error from the wrap up there. Then we throw. I think we just do this. I'll release without a regression test, as this seems pretty straightforward. I think I'll do that in the fix, the patch. Okay. Okay. Yep, I'm gonna do this one. I think that one seems fine. So that one should be good. Closes that. Okay. So that one seems good. Making progress. Now I'm gonna, in just a bit here, I'm going to so updated November 27th. I'll look at these two. Type submap to support a dynamic object in MST, like the issue. Okay. Okay, types that object. Have over maps his ability to easily deeply destructure. Yeah, that's fair. What are the... So this would become an object. This one is a model. Is object type. Okay. Creates a key-based collection type whose children are all of a uniform declared type as a supplement to types.model. It offers support to. There's some real. I need to fix that. Without specifying definite keys. It's also very similar to types.map. Returns an object instead of a map. So we would have this model. Types.object, and then we just pass in a frozen, which has the ability to make changes to it, and then you can just dump in those. Right now, the way to do it is frozen, but you get an action this way, so you can do like update. It makes sense, actually. Probably don't need this. Is object type. Model. And object. Needs to be a model. Typeflags.model. I assume this is based on a map. Again, coming back to the main problem here, which is how much do I want to extend MobX State Tree versus how much do I want it to just remain stable? Like, I would have to do a bunch of testing to make sure this works. I'm going to ask my team. So I'm going to ask, I see that Frank asked a question in our MobX State Tree thing. So documentation around setting view names to the same as prop names being an issue. Um, okay, we need a better error message. I'm actually going to do a code sandbox here. So I'm actually going to do a new one. Create. Just vanilla. My wife's asking me to put the girls to bed, which means I have very limited time here. But let's say I do MobX State Tree, MobX React Lite. I don't even know if I need that last one, but let's just, or I don't because I'm not in React here. So, all right, let's try this though. Import types from MobX State Tree, and then const user model equals types dot model user model. And then here we will go types, or let's say ID types dot identifier, name types dot string, and then right here we'll go views, user, and we'll say get name, and I always forget there's some sort of a target ES6 or something here. But it never works, right? Okay, so return user.name. So I think there's a problem here. So const my user equals user model dot create. Then ID is Jamin and name is Jamin Holmgren. And then I'm just gonna like grab report observed is not, yeah. So this is the problem here. So yeah. And if I go 2, yeah, so it works there. If you change this view's name, the error goes away. So I'm just going to I'm going to share this one, copy the link, and I'm going to file an issue. Yeah, here's this right here. Yep, that was it right here. Minimal repro. right there. Cool. That's kind of cool, actually, providing that minimal repo. There's tons of issues that I haven't looked at. Actually, hold on. Okay. All right. So, whoops. Pull requests. Whoops, not recently updated. Least recently updated. Dynamic object type. Oh, that's cool. I mean, this is probably fine. Okay, so after create should happen after all the children are created. So this is a philosophy thing. Like, is it like... I'm going to ask also here. I just don't know. Let's see here. Simple access does a sensible thing. Previously, resolved paths with path would cause problems because the parent hooks would be called before the child was fully created. Order of hooks is different, but they're all called. This looks like a major difference. Yeah, I'm going to have to wait on this one. I just don't have the bandwidth tonight. Hey, Shang, thanks for hanging out. Really appreciate it. I'll be done here pretty soon anyway. Okay, that's good to know. So you do have after attach. It looks like it'll work. You should not have the expectation to access children in after create hook, but rather in after. That's a good point. Yeah, this one I need to wait on. I'm gonna ask him. Is commonly acceptable to the community. So, okay. So this one I need to come back to. So, okay. So I think we did good. Now I need to release a new version. So I'm going to pull down, I'm going to run yarn test. So okay, that's a problem. Apply property apply snapshot does not. Okay, let me roll back. I'm going to actually grab all of these commits and their hashes and drop them here. So we're going to go back to 517 for a second. Man, it is blasting outside. So yarn test. Oh, do I have to run yarn build? I always forget. Okay, well there's that. Let's grab this. Oops. Get reset hard to that one. Yarn build. Yarn test. Okay, that one looks fine. Get reset hard there. Yarn build. Yarn test. So there are some issues here. Yarn build. So let's see here. Snapshot processor TS. Does not why? Oops. Non-nullable this n. Wait. Fixed node. Okay, of course this doesn't go as well as that. Apply snapshot. So 1823. A lot of people want this. So if I just take that out and run the test, this test should fail. Right here. And if that fixes it, if I can just say as any, like as any, right? Whatever. Go away. Okay. So here's the problem with this guy. TypeScript. Wait, what do we got here? So it doesn't even work. Well, I could revert this. Yeah, I'm gonna revert this. So first I'll get reset hard to this. Get revert this one. Okay, yarn test. And then I'll just reopen that one and say, this does not work. So just push it straight to master, of course. See if I can just dump in. These console warnings are really annoying. Here, I'll just do this. I'll just cherry pick that one. There we go. Okay. Just going to comment on that, and then I'm going to make a note to check on that later. Okay. So I think where we are right now is we're ready to publish. So yarn release. Oh shoot, I just realized something. Will it let me publish? Well, I'm going to try it as a patch, level release. Okay, looks like it worked. Okay, 5.8, 1.8. Head to... hey, what's up? Hello, Jamin. Why are you not using contact lenses? I actually tried. Tried a while ago. I kept on like poking myself in the eye and giving myself like a bloody eye, and you know, like in the side. And I was just like, ugh, I don't want to deal with this. So I gave up. Do you think I should? How do I say your name, by the way? It looks Russian or Ukrainian or maybe even like Mongolian or something. I don't know. Okay. 5.18 is now out. So if I go here and I go to the tags, there's 5.1.8. I click on that and I create a release from the tag. Version 5.1.8. And then I will say, this is a bug fix release. And then I will go fixes pre. Let me just verify this. Process snapshot running twice when you apply snapshot. Okay. By Mishk0. Fixes and also fixes 13. So 1354, and this one fixes 621, 1969. Allows aborting a flow, and when aborting a flow, an error will now be thrown, I think. And the flow will finish. Number 1969 by Kevin 276. Pistonsky. Sure you should. One day contact lenses are much better for vision than glasses from my experience. You're probably right. Sure would work probably better when I'm playing hockey. Would you agree with that? So I'll publish this release, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to those. Fixed in 5.1.8. And I will go to 621, say fixed in 528, and close with comment. Or 5.1.8. Cool. released in. Okay. So this is the one that still needs to be reviewed. Okay. Okay. I think we're good. I released that. Now I just need to tweet about it. Released a new version of MobX State Tree 5.1.8 that addresses two long-standing issues. Couldn't abort flows, they would hang forever. And then I've already forgotten what the other one is. Okay. Preprocess. Sometimes. Okay, there we go. Okay, new version of MST is released. Okay. Okay, so I think we got it. Good job, everybody. What kind of software are you using for streaming? I'm wondering how to overlay chat and show the face camera like you do. So I am using OBS, and I use. So there's a way to kind of like set all this stuff up. It takes a little bit of time, I would say. So you may have to Google around. That's the thing. But yeah, OBS Studio. Do not bother with anything else. Don't bother with Twitch Studio. Don't bother with Streamlabs OBS. I've done them both. They're not as good. OBS Studio is the way to go. So let me bring this around here. So yeah, I mean, like, the other thing I'm using is called, let's see if I can remember the name. Stream Elements. Stream Elements allows me to set up like the chat and stuff like that. And let's see, activity feed. Overlays. Yep. So it allows you to do overlays. Streamelements.com. Actually, the chat is put in through. That's right. How does that chat work? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I need to actually check this. Hold on. Chat overlay properties. I don't remember how this works. Cancel. Can you hear me? Yeah, you can hear me still. So, something going on with the properties here. I need to actually interact. How do you do that? No. Filters? No. Oh, it's restream. Okay, so restream. So I'm using restream for the chat overlay. The thing about that, OBS stream elements. Yeah, absolutely. Chat settings. Embed in stream. Message alignment top. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Oh yeah. This is what I do. Go bottom. All right. And then I just go copy. And then I can, on here, properties, hit OK. It's still wrong. Hey, MHK super user, I see you. I'm just trying to fix something. Sorry. If I go to chat again, hit my chat overlay, and then I go message alignment should be bottom, and I copy this and I drop it in. To maybe 10%. Yeah, okay. So I don't know. I'm going to try refreshing it maybe? I don't know. How do I refresh chat? How do I refresh it? Okay, that's wrong. Oh, okay, sweet. Now it's working. Even when I'm doing solo coding here. Someone say something if you're still there. Testing. I just want to see if this works. I'm hoping it works. Okay. All right, so the question was, is there any plan to adopt React Query and Ignite since it's becoming a popular solution for server state management and caching in the React? Okay, so it did what I wanted it to, by the way. The problem is that I need to move it up, I think. something like that. And then I'm going to lock this again. Okay. I'm going to go back to chatting solo. Sweet. Okay. Now it's doing what I want it to. I had to reverse it. It was adding new ones at the top. I wanted to add new ones at the bottom. All right. So the question is about React Query. So we only put things in Ignite that we've used in real world projects, more than one usually. And in this case, React Query, we've used it on a project, but we haven't used it to the point where it's like, this is what we absolutely want to use. In fact, the last time we used it, the project lead came back and said, yeah, I miss MobX State Tree, and just using that. So my assumption is that over time, we're going to continue to experiment with it. But it's not currently how we like to build React Native apps. So that's a great question. Or other options. Been wondering how Infinite Red does GraphQL with MST. Yeah, that's a good question, App Viking. So like GraphQL, one of the ways that we like to use GraphQL is with Urkel. But again, we don't have a strong opinion on that, because we haven't done enough projects that use it. Most of our projects are REST still. They really are. And that's kind of weird, isn't it? But that's what's going on. So we just don't, Ignite's got to be something that we're like, yeah, this is how we would totally do it, We did just start a brand new, fresh app, Greenfield Ignite app for a client, for a big client that you've heard of. Can't say their name on stream, but that we're gonna get some learnings out of that for sure. Use GQL. I mean, if you're talking about just GraphQL, like I said, yeah, it's just less common. We do use it sometimes, but not constantly. Yeah. We use Urkel most of the time. Urkel is kind of our current go-to, but it's not enough to just put it in Ignite, and not everything uses GraphQL, so it's not really worth right now making any changes to Ignite for that. If you check out ignitecookbook.com, let me show you what I mean. So we don't currently have any GraphQL content in here, or any Urkel content, but this would be where we'd put it. So anything that doesn't make it into Ignite, but we use it on various projects, we'll try to put it in here. If that makes sense. Guys, I need to go. I have to put my kids to bed. My wife asked me to because she's super tired today. So thanks everybody for hanging out with me tonight. It was fun to do another stream finally. Planning to do more of these. I will be out next week. Have some business meetings all week, so I'm not going to be doing any streaming next week. And then in 3 weeks, I'm going to be out of town for a couple weeks, so probably not much in the next month. However, when I get back, I'm hoping to up to Chain React, and you all should be coming to Chain React. If you're not, why not? chainreactconf.com. All right, thanks a lot. Yeah, appreciate it, Nat, MHK super user, and Awargui. Appreciate that. It's really nice. Fan from Australia. Nice. Loving podcast. Awesome. That's really nice, Nat. Really appreciate it. That's very cool to hear that. Growing up in like Northwest, like the hick town, I never expected to be in a place where people would be listening to me in far off places like Australia. So that's pretty cool. All right. I really do need to go. I'm going to get in trouble. You all don't want to get me in trouble, do you? Thanks so much.